Hey, Crystal.
Good morning, or good afternoon. I'm sorry, it's 12 o'clock.
It's one of them days, right? Darling, how you doing?
Yes. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you too.
How's the weather
It's
out there?
we had our first snow. You
Oh,
gonna laugh at us. Because it was nothing. It was a flurry. It literally lasted maybe 30 minutes to an hour and it didn't
yeah.
stick.
Same here. It
But
was cute,
everything was like, oh no, it's snowing. And it was like, okay. Sun's out the next day. Nothing sticked.
right? With spirit finger snow.
Yeah, but it is cold, so it's like 30 degrees. So
30 degrees.
only
So,
37, but still,
oh,
it's chilly.
oh, that's no, no, that's cold.
It's cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're inside. Winter
Me,
is here, or it's coming. Winter's coming.
winter is winter is here. Winter's coming. Are you a pumpkin spice girl? A tuxedo? What you like?
But what was that? I missed it.
Are you a pumpkin spice girl? You like tuxedos? But no.
I am the apple cider, apple
Oh,
cinnamon, apple caramel, apple. That's my
yeah.
fall flavor. Pumpkin. Give me
Yeah.
some apples. That's what I go for. The
Yeah.
warm apple, cinnamon crunch, toast, bread, coffee,
Yeah.
tea, whatever. That's my lane.
Yeah. No, totally. So folks don't know this, Crystal, and you I'm sure you like that. You enjoy all that stuff in cinnamon rolls. Crystal mom makes the best
Yes.
and most fresh bread. So I've been a blessed recipient of your baked bread. I'm not talking about like QT, take the bread, which is nothing wrong with too. Put it in, the pan and put it in the oven and it's flour and like she is all about like the proper grains, milling it, like all of that. And I've had issues with indigestion, things like that. So I actually have a really hard time eating bread. Not gluten,
Mhm.
thank God, but I have a hard time eating bread, crackers, wheat, all that stuff. Like it has to be sprouted. I'm an Ezekiel bread type chick. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel it later. So I could like
Mhm.
I shouldn't. I could pig out on your mama's bread.
Yes.
So you have
Well, you know what it is? She makes her own flour,
to
and
make
that's what makes it special. She
yes,
gets the flour, she mills the flour itself, and that actually makes it a little more healthier and nutrient
a
full
lot
for
more
us.
here, nutrient dense crystal.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the taste is
Yeah.
just it tastes good. Like I had some frozen for probably about 2 months. So like a small piece left that I'd forgotten about. I put
Hmm.
it out. We were having like buttered toast. Like it was good. She's so sweet.
Yes, I love that. I love that so much. Well, last night she made more cinnamon rolls, so I'm getting mine soon.
Her cinnamon rolls are the other thing that's good, right? You talk about.
Mhm.
So of
Yeah.
course, like a cinnamon, apple, all of that. So for good reason.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing podcast live today. Amazing topic.
Mhm.
Went back and forth, right, Krista, about the topic.
Yes.
We got some good stuff. Should we tell them our future topic first?
Yeah, we could do a teaser. A little
Okay.
teaser.
Sure. All right, you want to tell them? You want me to tell them?
Yeah, so for next month, we're going to tackle AI in therapy and
Yes.
how AI is transforming the therapist world as a clinician, and also as a therapy seeker. What AI tools are out there trying to be therapists and not really doing a good job of it. But we're going
Mhm.
to talk about those things and how it's impacted our field as a whole next month in December.
Yeah.
So,
In the future,
thanks. Mm-hmm.
like what is AI doing that the human can't? Like what it's serving something. So
It does what we can. It does what AI does what we tell it to do. Just keep
mm,
that in mind. Just keep
yeah,
that in mind.
exactly
Okay.
right. The algorithm, right? Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. But today's topic is about, well, I want you to say, because I've been saying it wrong this whole time, evidently.
We haven't been saying the slang version of it, if you will. So
Yeah.
affective disorder, spells with the A. Sounds like I'm probably using an E, but it's seasonal affective disorder.
Mhm.
Is also called SAD, and it's often called seasonal depression, Crystal. So you have not been.
Yes.
It's also called seasonal depression, and so what that means, if you for you as a therapy seeker,
Mm-hmm.
with anyone, that around the holidays when there's not as much sun, there's not as much vitamin D, bu- coming down upon you to receive, right? That your
Mhm.
may shift. And so some
Mhm.
may experience slight depressions or more depressive states. And
Mhm.
seasonal affective disorder, it
Yeah.
comes and it generally goes, it sometimes can come when the seasons change as far as the seasons change. But the key is that it can be less lighting. So that means
Mhm.
even though someone could be in Alaska where it might be a day that, the weather is staying, it's dark outside for a longer period of time. And then, of course, that switches,
Mhm.
experience it there, could experience different parts of the world. So,
Yeah. And some of the symptoms are like low mood or fatigue, changing
mhm,
your diet, just because the time has shifted. And so now 5 o'clock the sun is setting versus before we had good daylight at 5 p.m. So when you're getting off work at 5 o'clock, driving home, and you're getting home in the dark, and you're kind of like just everything's kind of just slowing down, the
mhm,
mood shifts. Especially when you used to being outside doing things. I know for me,
mhm.
I used to walk outside in the evenings, and now I'm like I can't go for evening walks anymore because it's dark. I'm not going outside in the dark.
Yeah,
So that can shift your whole entire quality of life depending on how you do your schedule. So it
yeah.
affects about 5% of the U.S. adults, and it impacts women more than men. Actually, did find that fact out, and I'm wondering because we're so in tune with the ourselves and our environments. It definitely
And
makes a difference on how
season,
we show up and our
and
seasons.
then I see,
Hmm. Yeah, so when we get less sunlight in general, we get less vitamin D, our serotonin levels drop, and it's just like everything is all shifted and off mood. So
mhm,
we're more likely to spend time indoors, spend less time outside, less time, going out, even like going to happy hour after work cut short because
yeah,
now you want to be home before it gets dark or before it gets too cold outside. So that
mhm,
all affects our mood and can lead to depressive symptoms. But
right,
there are, I wouldn't say like you'll be depressed in December and January and March. No, that's not this case. You may have some symptoms, you may experience some things, but there are some ways to combat that. So it's not going to be like your primary like mood or mode when
yeah,
that time changes. Because for me, when that time changed, I got the best sleep ever. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I
you did,
did miss that hour. I want that hour. That
yeah,
hour felt good. Do you
yeah.
remember that day? I think it was a Sunday, and it was like when the time shifted. Do you remember that day? It
I
was like,
do.
oh,
I got good sleep too. I woke up feeling rested. Yeah, the difference that an hour can make at the right time because it switches your circadian rhythm.
yeah. And I definitely think that like I always called it seasonal depression because I thought it was just with seasonals. I didn't think it was just. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know that the sunlight affects it. I think it's also just like to all seasons. Like when you're changing seasons,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where you are and who you are in life, it brings up different emotions for you. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you in summertime you experience loneliness,
Yeah.
summertime's around, you're lonely again. So it's kind of like to me, I'm like it goes beyond just the winter
Absolutely.
months. It can be any change in seasons that's familiar to you, brings back different memories and different experiences.
Absolutely. And when we think about evolution, it was probably necessary, right? Because in the winter, you would have to store up. You couldn't hunt as much, or you didn't have fruits and berries in the same way, in the same plenty, or you have more starchy vegetables, and that was probably necessary for your body's adaptation. God's
Hmm.
beautiful, and sometimes we separate that, but they don't need to be separated. There are reasons for our moods probably to shift and to change. You know,
Hmm.
if this is like good or bad, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, obviously the world is a very different place now. So what does that mean for us? And when we're talking about this as clinicians and to other clinicians, you want to be in tune with your clients, right? There's
Hmm.
I have that I might say, how are you feeling as we transition into fall, right? I'm that up because to help them make the connection, like, oh yeah, I do sometimes have more of in some occasions, probably in many occasions, have more of a disposition towards sadness when the weather changes. So you're also teaching the client
Hmm.
how to be, with the season and how to,
Hmm.
because if their expectation is that they should be as happy and everything should be looking like it is in the summer all the time outside, all this, if they're comparing, that's going to be hard. That doesn't mean that
Hmm.
they're happy. Maybe that was the wrong choice of words, but it does mean that they will have to probably work more on planning the opportunities that they have to engage with other people. You might have to call people, or you might have to plan things at your house as opposed to going outside to the park, right? So it's a different type of engagement that's necessary for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual component in the book of in chapter 17 of First Chronicles, it talks
Mm-hmm.
about the tribe of Issachar and the necessity of the tribe of Issachar. They understood the signs of the times. And so it makes me think about like God is always telling us and teaching us and preparing us for the signs of the times. But it's our
Mm-hmm.
responsibility to take heed to it and know how to move in accordance to the signs of the times. And when
Mm-hmm.
you think about things that are hard for you or challenging or troubling, you can sometimes look back, not every occasion, but on some occasions you can look back and say there were signs. And
Yeah.
move in accordance to the sign. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Different tribes had different gifts or different callings or different anointings under the Lord. Like the sons of Korah were able to go. They were the ushers. They were the gatekeepers to the doors. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They were worshipers. Right? Everybody had their ways in which they connected with God. And so I remind clients when I'm doing spiritual work with them that don't look at these things as everything is good or bad. Life is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different dispositions, temperaments, moods, right? Ways of being. So it's
Mm-hmm.
important that you adjust to the sign of the time and you don't make it an enemy. People say things, oh,
Right.
I hate when it's cold, I hate when it's I hate. But darling, there's nothing you're gonna be able to do to change that. The world has been getting cold for the most part in
Mm-hmm.
the woods in your part of the world for a really, really long time. Now I guess you
Mm-hmm.
pray and wish, that the Lord will hold the rain, I guess. Right? But
Yeah. But
yeah.
it's a time and season for everything. Everything has its season and a time for it, and it naturally flows. It comes and it goes, like it's a rhythm. Winter could be a time used now for rest instead of being productive. Use it for reflection and
Yes.
restoration versus like, because think about it, summertime. I usually am more outside. I'm more, walking, just being more in the environment. When it's cold outside, I don't want to be outside. I don't
Right.
want to be outside the whole year walking around. So I use this time period to kind of just really take care of my home, to nest, to nurture. So I'm
Mhm.
really glad the holidays do fall here because I know that I'll be inside to be spend time with family and friends during them.
Mhm.
So what are some ways that people can cope if they do have these kind of symptoms during this time of year?
I would always start with what you have if I'm talking to a therapist, I would always start with what you've observed from the client.
Hmm.
Have you seen that the client does actually function better in warmer weathers, warmer climates due to is it a situation where they just actually need warmth? They themselves have to feel that up on their bodies. If
Hmm.
I would talk to a client about having a heavy weighted blanket.
Hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah, the 30-pound blanket, I have one of those at home. They're wonderful. My
Hmm.
house loves them, but I find them wonderful. It feels like a nice hug, right? So you help them connect to their bodies, right? So
Hmm.
and then if it's not about just it being warm, there's warmth in the sense of physical embodiment of warmth. It might
Hmm.
actually need the light. And so you might talk to a client about getting a vitamin D lamp or what they call a sunlight lamp. And it will take sunlight, not that artificial like sunlight that it looks kind of clear. It might be warm, kind of yellowish or orangey tone. And
Hmm.
simulate daylight. My
Hmm.
oldest was born, he had jaundice. And of course, I was nursing him around the clock. But what
Hmm.
we did was they also took him and put him under sunlight. He was so cute. He looked like a little yellowish and like a,
Oh.
yeah, his skin just didn't get that creamy melanin, that little beautiful little chocolate, black babies be having, that creamy melanin. It was
Hmm.
dull, right? And so one of the things that they did was they put him under a lamp. Like he sat under a lamp for hours, right? And then when I was home, like the old folks used to do, the old folks used to they used to say, put that baby in the window. And that the baby just goes in the window, right? So
Hmm.
we have these things. I'm like you, Crystal, you and I agree on this, is that not everything has to be a rush to medicine. Not everything has to be
Right.
a rush to something is wrong with me. We understand the signs of the times, the changes of the season, right?
Hmm.
As we gain more life, I like to say as we age, as my pastor say.
Yeah.
especially as believers, we're never supposed to die. But so we're not aging, but as we engage more and more and more and more and more and every day with life,
Mm-hmm.
as time continues and we engage with life, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
bodies change, our hormones change, our needs change, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remind clients not to let this be something that has to get them down. Let's use
Right.
this. Use everything else. Like you said, it can be a time to be indoors with soups and fall foods. That can be really, really nice. I had a friend who used to have a donut party every fall. It was so fun. Such
Mhm. I
things
like
to do.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you take advantage of the times. I want to I it took me to the scripture that we were talking about with the tribe of Issachar.
Mm-hmm.
First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32. And the children of Issachar, who were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their command. Okay. And so God doesn't leave us in the dark, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
always given insight. And so if people are really struggling with it, to answer your question, when people are really struggling, okay, you go
Mm-hmm.
insight. Everybody's different. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like in like what you said, Crystal, it might be you need to bundle up, be warm inside, focus on regrouping as you enter the new year, journaling, things like that. For another person, it might they need to get outside more. Go
Yeah.
outside more.
Mm-hmm.
Force yourself to get outside so that you don't feel isolated, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have to go to the Lord, like the scripture says, and say, like the children of this, like the tribe of Issachar, right? Like what it says, in the children of Issachar, who were men that had understanding of the times,
Mm-hmm.
to know what Israel ought to do. Go to the Lord and ask the Lord to show you what you ought to do, and work with a therapist. Your therapist
Mm-hmm.
so your therapist can tell you what they're seeing in you that you may not see. You can take who you are to the Lord, right? But where
Mm-hmm.
you'll be. But if you have a therapist that you work with, they can show you and see other parts of you and bring out different dimensions of you that you had not seen. That's one of the joys of working with a therapist. I
Mm-hmm.
also encourage clients. Now, obviously, we're not doctors, so we can only encourage folks to understand herbs and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might encourage your client to look into magnesium, things like that, support, flaxseed oils, omega fatty 3 acids, things that really support mental clarity can be
Mm-hmm.
very healthy and helpful for you. So talking to a herbalist or a naturopathic doctor about that could be helpful as well. And then
Mm-hmm.
movement. Get going.
Yes. Movement. Keep your body moving. That also helps to like decrease. Well, it helps to like, increase the good mood hormones. Like the what is
Mhm.
it? Is it dopamine?
Yeah, dopamine.
Dopamine gets released when you move your body. And
Yep.
I, you mentioned also with the light, there's also light therapy, but
Yeah.
they have the lamps, they have alarm clocks to mimic the sunshine, and so that's also a good alternative. And
Yep.
having a routine, like even though the hour is gone, you could still stick to your routine,
Crystal
even
is
though it's a little off, but like
Crystal.
keeping that routine in place.
You
Hmm.
let the hour go. She said, "I got the best sleep of my life." And you're like, even though hour is lost, Crystal, that's scary, right? It makes such a difference.
Yeah, and it's like even though it's gone, you could still try to hold on to your routines.
Mhm.
Like still try to get up at similar time frames, do the same things to keep your body in that good, like good space. Of course, eating well, have a healthy diet as
Mhm.
well helps to kind of push through the season. But
Mhm.
and for the clinicians out there that are watching, make sure that you notice the signs in your clients
Mhm.
when the season change and
Mhm.
make them aware as well. Because I feel like sometimes it may seem like, oh, we're just depressed, we're down, but like it could be because it's dark at 5 o'clock right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm between 5 and 8 used to be sunshine and sunsets, and now it's dark. And I remember like this long ago, when I was in Paris for a summer a few years ago. Over there, the sun didn't set till 10 p.m. So we
Yeah.
were outside the sunlight. 8 o'clock. I'm like, this feels good.
Mhm.
No, I love Paris because the sun don't go down to 10 o'clock at night. And so we were out there having fun. I'm like, wow, seeing how the mood changes by just the
Yeah.
environment I'm in. Like, I want to live there because I'm like, oh, this is what I need to be when the sun doesn't set this late. And I don't know how sure out is year round, but during that time period, I was like, oh, okay. No wonder y'all are so happy over here. Y'all ain't going to
Yeah.
sleep till midnight.
Well, it's that in the wine, but yes.
That too, yes.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So that brings me to the question, what responsibility do we have as clinicians to start those conversations with clients?
Early, you notice the signs when you see your client, like especially someone that you see regularly, and their mood shifts dramatically when that time or the seasons change. I challenge Christians to call it out. Say, I noticed that you've been feeling more depressed, symptoms, more fatigue, missing more sessions than usual. What's been going on? And if there is anything going on internally, then externally, environmentally, the world is shifting, the time is changing. You know, this may be a factor as well. I noticed that a lot during COVID. When I was building my practice, clients were like, no, I'm doing fine. I'm getting great money. I'm doing well because everyone in COVID wasn't doing bad. I didn't say it like that, but although it's a pandemic, people were
Mhm.
actually thriving financially during that time period, and they were yet still feeling depressed about it. And I'm
Right.
like, well, the world is going down right now. Although you're doing well financially, you're in a good space. The world you live in isn't still this right now very stable, and that could impact how you feel your outlook towards your future because your environment is not comfortable right now.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID plus the season depression was a tough time to work through. But we did it. We made it through. We made it through that
Yeah,
season.
COVID hit during winter. So, or
Well, yeah, it hit
oh,
the early spring, and then but it was still here in the winter. It didn't go away until the next time. You know.
right. It was like March, February. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I 100% agree that we have a responsibility. And I want to encourage therapy seekers.
Hmm.
You have a responsibility too. Talk to your therapist when you're noticing, right, that your mood has shifted.
Hmm.
You don't feel the same.
Hmm.
Chalk that up to something, oh, they should have saw it. No, open your mouth. Part of what you're learning and growing in therapy and the relationship and rapport with your clinician you're working with, you're simulating the outside world. And so your responsibility is to speak up as well about what you're experiencing as your mood shifts and change.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking up, say how you feel, advocate for yourself. It's your
Yeah.
safe space.
Yes, safe space. Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, Crystal, we've done it again. Another Wednesday in the books.
Yes,
I'm excited about next week's topic.
I
AI.
am too. Hmm.
AI.
AI and therapy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's gonna be interesting. There's a lot going on in this AI world.
Yeah, and it's at a rapid speed how it's developing too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. We'll see what happens. But
We'll see what happens. So join us next week, guys. Next week on Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon. We'll see you there.
yes, see y'all soon.
Our page, The Sanctuary Session, on Instagram and on YouTube. We're on both.
Yes, I'm on YouTube too. Mm-hmm.
Make our way to TikTok.
Yes. Hi, India.
Oh, India. Hi, India. Hi, darling. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
This, right? So for those who maybe are coming later. So, yeah, we'll see you guys. Bye, Crystal. I'll check in with you this week, darling.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.